So we're going to do the questions for chapter 18. Read the introduction first. That will be helpful to you. You don't have to do the chart. We're not doing the chart, okay? Good. Okay, question number 1. Question number 1 says this. Let me change. I was given glasses from Mrs. Wilbur that are a little stronger, which helps.
Oh, really cool.
Okay, first question says this. Why would Jesus' brothers want... Oh, no. We got to read first. Of course we got to read first. Okay. Open to John 7 in your Bibles. John 7. Starting at verse 1, I'm going to start reading, so you need to be silent, please. After an indeterminate amount of time, we've seen that phrase a number of times in John. Jesus went about in Galilee. He would not go about in Judea because the Jews were seeking to kill him. So he didn't want to go to Judea at that point in time because his hour had not yet come. And so it wasn't time for him to get arrested. So now the Jews' Feast of Booths was at hand. So this Feast of Booths or Feast of Tabernacles, same thing, is close. It's almost time for it. So his brothers said to him, now his brothers were not believers in him at this point. They became believers after he rose from the dead, but they weren't yet. So his brothers said to him, leave here and go to Judea, that your disciples, not the 12, not just the 12, but others as well, because his 12 disciples had seen what he was doing. But leave here and go to Judea, that your disciples may see the works that you are doing. For no one works in secret if he seeks to be known openly. If you do these things, show yourself to the world. For not even his brothers believed in him. So they're dogging him. They're not saying, hey, you're great. They're denigrating him. That's a good word. Jesus said to them, my time has not yet come, but your time is always here. Okay, here's what you need to know about this. He isn't saying my hour has not yet come. The word there is not hora, hour. It's time, kairos. So what he's saying is, it's not yet time for me to go to the feast. He is going to go to the feast. He's just saying, not with you, and not right now. My time has not yet come, but your time is always here. And we'll talk more about this, but basically what he's saying is, look, I'm doing the Father's bidding. I'm going to do what he's telling me to do. It's not time for me to go. You don't have to worry about that. So you can go at any time. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify about it that its works are evil. You go up to the feast. I'm not going up to the feast, for my time has not yet fully come. After saying this, he remained in Galilee. But after his brothers had gone up to the feast, then he also went up, not publicly, but in private. He did not want to make a big commotion. The Jews were looking for him at the feast and saying, where is he? And there was much muttering about him among the people. While some said, he is a good man, others said, no, he is leading the people astray. Yet for fear of the Jews, no one spoke of him openly of him. About the middle of the feast, Jesus went up to the temple and began teaching. The Jews therefore marveled, saying, how is it that this man has learning when he has never studied? He's never gone to school. So Jesus with the rabbis. So Jesus answered them, my teaching is not mine, but it is his who sent me. If anyone's will is to do God's will, he will know whether the teaching from God whether the teaching is from God or whether I am speaking on my own authority. The one who speaks on his own authority seeks his own glory, but the one who seeks the glory of him who sent him is true, and in him there is no falsehood. Has not Moses given you the law? Yet none of you keeps the law. Why do you seek to kill me? The crowd answered, you have a demon. Who is seeking to kill you? Jesus answered them, I did one work, and you all marveled at it. Moses gave you circumcision, not that it was from Moses, but from the fathers. And you circumcise a man on the Sabbath. If on the Sabbath a man can receive circumcision so that the law of Moses may not be broken, are you angry with me because on the Sabbath I made a whole man's body well? Do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. Some of the people in Jerusalem, therefore, said, "Is not this the man whom they seek to kill? And here he is, speaking openly, and they say nothing to him. Can this be that the authorities really know that this is the Christ? But we know where this man comes from, and when the Christ appears, no one will know where he comes from." So Jesus proclaimed as he taught in the temple, "You know me, and you know where I come from. But I have not come from on my own accord. He who sent me, is true, and him you do not know. I know him, for I come from him, and he sent me." So they were seeking to arrest him, but no one laid a hand on him, because his hour had not yet come. Yet many of the people, not the Jews, not the Jewish leaders, believed in him. They said, "When the Christ appears, will he do more signs than this man has done?" So now let's answer whatever questions we can in the time that we have left. So question 1 says this: why would Jesus' brothers wanted to show himself to everyone when they did not believe in him? Yes.
They didn't really do it.
They just wanted what? Yeah, they were teasing him. Yeah, you big miracle worker. Yeah, go to show people. And they possibly didn't believe that he could do that. What else? What other options are there? There's several options. Well, we have a couple older brothers. They're my name's. I don't think it's much different than that. I think either they're testing him, like, yeah, go show it. Show us what you can do. Show everyone that you can do. Like, if you want to be really known, if you want followers, then you got to go out there and do something spectacular. I think they're probably, in some sense, making fun of him. But I think there's another possibility. They don't believe in him, but they probably do want to see miracles, or they may want to see miracles, but they may want that to involve them, not to have the miracles, but to get some credit for themselves. I don't know if you've ever been around someone famous or something like that, but people love to hang around the famous. Why do they love to hang around the famous? So they can get some of that fame, right? So they can get some of that attention. Oh man, you're in so-and-so's band. Oh, really? You're a bodyguard for him? And people are impressed by that, right? People are like, yeah, I can get something for myself. I think that's another possibility. When we lived in Brussels and my dad was at NATO, most nights after whatever practice, whatever season it was, I took the late bus home to get home. But sometimes my dad decided to come pick me up after work. And he would arrive in his limousine with his driver, with the flags on it, and I'd get in the back seat with him in his limousine, and people would be, "Man, that's cool." Oh, and I love that. I love the attention that brought me, and that might be kind of what his brothers. What? You have a limousine? Really? You always drive to school in a limousine? But yeah, well, it's pretty normal, I guess. Maybe it's wrong. No, there's probably some. No, probably. So that's another possibility. Some of the Jews thought Jesus was a deceiver. What kind of deception were they talking about? What might they have thought was the lie Jesus was perpetrating? What might he have been lying about in their eyes? Yeah, who he was, but even more, who the Father was to him. Kept calling God his Father. And that would have been offensive to the Jews. They also would have definitely believed that when he claimed to be God or to be the Son of God, that would be blasphemy. There's only two choices there. If you're going to make such a claim, it's either true or it's blasphemy. There's no middle ground. In the sense that Jesus said he was the Son of God, the literal Son of God. Obviously, all believers are sons and daughters of God through Christ. By the way, people say, and this is something I tell my classes quite often, people like to say we're all God's children. We are not all God's children. God loves everyone. Not everyone's God's child. You're going to get to a part of John 1 where John writes, to those who believed on his name, on Christ's name, to them he gave the right to become children. So not those who know Christ, those are God's children. So they probably thought he was blaspheming in this, and maybe they thought his miracles were tricks. We don't know for sure. Maybe all of that was true. The Jews were surprised at Jesus' knowledge because he had not sat under the teaching of their rabbis. What was the source of Jesus' teaching? I don't like the what. Yeah, who was the source would be the better question there. He's saying that his teaching came directly from God, from the Father. He didn't need to learn it from the rabbis because they don't know anything compared to God. What does the rabbi's question suggest about where they were looking for their authority? So let's look again. What is that question? Okay, so here's the question. How is it that this man has learning when he has never studied? So, what does that suggest about where they were looking for their authority? The rabbi, the Look it up here.